Hello, this is Shaylin Thompson, and I want to discuss the role that race plays when someone is being convicted. Race is defined as one having distinct and unique physical qualities. So, how can something that's supposed to be unique to you put you behind bars forever? Well, the answer is simple: prejudice and racism. Prejudice have been a prominent topic in society for many centuries. People have been slaughtered, people have killed, and wars have been started because of racism. And in a war, many innocent people die every day, every hour, every minute, and every second, all because of prejudice and racism. This is a deep-rooted problem that has translated to justice or the lack of in the courtroom. I have extensively researched this topic and found that how someone looks can determine their fate. Therefore, if one is convicted based off their race, it's most likely they are going to be exonerated later on. Many researchers have found that African Americans are most likely to be found innocent that were previously convicted of murder and sexual assault charges. To give you an example, African Americans that were wrongfully accused of murder had to spend an average of about 3 years more in prison before being released than whites. Samuel Gross, who is a law professor at the University of Michigan and provides data on false convictions, says, "It's no surprise that in this area, as in almost any other that has to do with the criminal justice in the United States, race is the big factor." But if this is such a big issue, then why is it no surprise when someone is convicted wrongfully because of the color of their skin? Well, because this has been happening for decades and centuries, and we have been accustomed to it. This is a review from the National Registry of Exonerations of 2,000 wrongfully accused from 1989 to present day. Blacks numbering as the highest at 12 out of 16, Caucasians numbering at 9 out of 16, and Hispanics numbering at 8 out of 16. The results of this review can be explained by Clara Steffens and Maurice Posley, who are senior editors of the National Registry of Exoneration, when they say, "The causes we have identified run from inevitable consequences of patterns in crime and punishment to deliberate acts of racism." But you may begin to wonder, how does one get wrongfully convicted in the first place? This is a good question, and the answer is misidentification. Almost 72% of the DNA exoneration cases involved an eyewitness misidentification, and almost 42% of those are cross-racial misidentifications. Either someone didn't wear their glasses that day, or according to research studies, many witnesses and victims have difficulty recognizing facial characteristics of a different race than their own. Although this is one reason, another is coercion. According to Edwin Grimsley, an Innocent Project case analyst, many African American and Hispanic exonerated men who were arrested as juveniles in urban communities were coerced into giving incriminating statements that significantly differed from the crime scene evidence. Another reason for wrongful convictions is the media. When violence occurs in our society, it is depicted, whether on the news or in social media, in a minority or low-income community. These depictions can alter someone's view of a particular race, crossing them out to be more or less violent, which can also carry on to the courtrooms. Even though there is evidence pointing to race being a big factor in convictions, some might reason that a conviction cannot be biased because the jury is made up of 12 randomly picked people. But this is in fact not true, because someone's background, how they were raised, and morals can establish if they have prejudices against other people or not. And also, according to Renee Navarro from Diversity and Reach, everyone holds unconscious beliefs about various social and identity groups. So taking in all this information, one might think, well, since someone was proved innocent and they're out of jail, they're good, right? Well, wrong. Since the exonerees still have the fact that they were in prison on their transcripts, a lot of them have problems with acquiring jobs, a house, and even an education. So how can we prevent one from going through such a troublesome and stressful process? Coming to realize what we can do outside the courtroom about race discrimination can in the future help justice to be served no matter how you look. We should not base a decision off of how someone looks or seems to appear, rather physical evidence that they actually did the crime. We as a nation have to stop stereotyping and conforming everyone of a particular race in a category and assuming that's how everybody of that race is. We have to see humans as humans and not as a color.